region forward in the area of education, technology and economy. There is no obstacle to trial by showing Sheikh Hasina as a fugitive, says Special Advisor to the Chief Prosecutor as the prosecution team holds a meeting with ICT's investigation team on the trial of July-August genocide. Asian Development Bank ADB to provide $600 million in support of structural reforms in Bangladesh. Bangladesh has moved away from submissive foreign policy towards India as the interim government does not believe in international relations by compromising national interests, says LGRD advisor. Jubodal, Chhatrodal and Swechhasevak Dal marched towards Agartala protesting against India's anti-Bangladesh propaganda. Independence was not achieved to surrender to Delhi, says Ruhul Kabir Rizvi. The United States calls for forming inclusive government in Syria while Israeli forces take position near Damascus. And Bangladesh to face West Indies in the third and final ODI match in St. Kitts tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum viewers, I'm Tanzila Manar Sultana welcoming you all to News at 10. You have just heard the headlines, then moving on to news in details. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus stressed the need for flourishing technology to accelerate communication in the Chittagong Hill Tracts. He said the country's hilly region should be taken forward in education, technology and economic aspect. The Chief Advisor was addressing virtually a training program titled Hill District Council Management arranged for the Hill District Council Chairman and members at Chittagong Hill Tracts Complex in the capital this morning. Professor Yunus said the naturally beautiful and resource-rich hill districts could have been the most developed region in Bangladesh, but it is lagging behind. This should not be accepted. Expressing his hope that the youths of the hilly region will be built as global citizens, the Chief Advisor said despite being people from remote area, the youth should not be left behind, noting that in January he encouraged the youth of the hilly regions to participate in the Youth Festival. Professor Yunus asked the hilly people to encourage their children and youths to join this festival. In his speech, the Chief Advisor also spoke about the need for reform in the education system of the hilly region and the importance of proper training. Chittagong Hill Tracts Affairs Advisor Shripradeep Chakma was present at the program. Outgoing Japanese ambassador to Bangladesh, Iwama Kiminori, said Japan will support Bangladesh's reform agenda and its investors would continue to stay in Bangladesh to help boost the country's economic developments. The Japanese envoy made the comments during a farewell call on Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus at the State Guest House Jamuna in Dhaka today. Ambassador Kiminori praised the leadership of Professor Yunus and added that his government would cement ties with Bangladesh in three pillars of Japanese engagements, which include peace and stability, economic cooperation, and human-to-human interactions. We will do our best to support the three pillars, Kiminori said, reiterating Tokyo's strong support for the reform initiatives undertaken by the interim government in areas including elections. Professor Yunus thanked the outgoing ambassador for their contribution to the Bangladesh-Japan relationship. He also lauded the ties between the two countries. The relationship has always been very strong, the Chief Advisor said. He called for more Japanese investment in Bangladesh as his government was carrying out vital reforms to attract more foreign direct investment in the country. The Japanese envoy extended an invitation from Nikkei to an annual conference in Japan where the Japanese Prime Minister is expected to speak. He said the Chief Advisor could meet chief executives of top Japanese companies during the meet and invite them to invest in Bangladesh. The Japanese ambassador also appreciated the Chief Advisor's move to hold an international conference on the Rohingya issues, saying Tokyo strongly supports the meeting. International crimes law expert Toby Cadman, also the special consultant to the International Crimes Tribunal's chief prosecutor, is hopeful that democratic India will send back Sheikh Hasina, who is accused of mass killings. He expressed the hope after meeting with the chief prosecutor and officials of the investigation agency of the International Crimes Tribunal today. Tawfiq Adnan said collective efforts will be given to make sure that the trials at the International Crimes Tribunal are done as per international standards. He also stressed the need for acceptability of the trials. Tawfiq Adnan visited the tribunal for the first time. He was appointed as a consultant to Chief Prosecutor of the International Crimes Tribunal, Muhammad Tajul Islam, to ensure fair trials as per international standards. Tawfiq Adnan is the joint head of London-based law firm Gerniger 37 Chambers. The Asian Development Bank ADB will provide a $600 million policy-based loan PBL to Bangladesh. The loan will be used for structural reforms, supporting mobilization of domestic resources, efficiency of public investment projects, developing private sector, reforming state-owned enterprises and promoting transparency and good governance. ADB's PBL promptly responds to Bangladesh's immediate development financing needs following the political transition. ADB regional lead economist Aminur Rahman said the reforms target improvements in economic management and governance as well as economic diversification and competitiveness. He said ADB's program was developed in close collaboration with the International Monetary Fund, World Bank and other development partners. Approval has been given for publishing textbooks of Class 9 and 10. Finance advisor Dr. Saleuddin Ahmed stated this to newsmen after Government Purchase Committee meeting at the Secretariat today. The advisor said work has already begun to print textbooks of general education and madrasa. He further said that efforts are on to print all the textbooks within January. However, all books may not be available by January, the advisor added. Besides, the meeting also gave approval to purchase various types of fertilizer, LNG, lentil and soybean oil. Environment, Forest and Climate Change Advisor Sayyida Rizwana Hassan said the interim government is working to ensure sustainable, cost-effective and high-quality energy policy. She said this at Bangladesh Energy Prosperity 2050 conference at the Biam Foundation complex in the capital today. Advisor of the Ministry of Power, Energy and Mineral Resources, Muhammad Faizul Kabir Khan, addressed the event as chief guest. Among others, Dr. Muhammad Tamim of Kuwait, government officials, energy experts, academics and development partners participated in the conference. Discussions focused on addressing the energy crisis, promoting renewable energy and ensuring efficient energy use. The advisor said despite the existing agreements of power sector are inconsistent, it's very difficult to cancel those as the process is very costly and time-consuming. Therefore, decision will have to be taken through careful planning. Liberation War Affairs Advisor Farooqi Azam Bir Pratik asked fake freedom fighters who managed to get certificates as 1971 veterans to return their credentials voluntarily or to face punitive actions. He said this at a press briefing at his ministry conference room in Secretariat today. The advisor said his ministry by now took a step to verify number of real freedom fighters, initially those who were appointed in government jobs under freedom fighters quota. He said works were underway to identify fake freedom fighters and a form in the ministry's website has been introduced to receive information or complaints. The advisor said 89,235 people were currently engaged in government jobs under the freedom fighter quota. He said a court case was now pending regarding cancellation of certificates of 2,111 freedom fighters aged 12 years and 6 months. Information and Broadcasting Advisor Muhammad Nahid Islam said different types of propaganda are being spread internationally against Bangladesh. Conspiracies are taking place both inside and outside the country. Propaganda is also being spread regarding suppression of minorities, he added. The advisor made the comments during a meeting with a delegation from British Global Partners Governance GPG yesterday. Nahid Islam said there have been human rights crises for a long time in Bangladesh. People were unable to vote and thousands of individuals were subjected to enforced disappearances. Therefore, protecting human rights is one of the main objectives of the interim government, the advisor noted. The GPG delegation assured the interim government of providing all possible support. The delegation included former member of the Scottish Parliament Lord Jeremy Purvis, former Minister of Social Development of Chile Giorgio Jackson, and Foreign Commonwealth and Development Officer Matt Charter. LGRD and Cooperatives Advisor Asif Mahmood Shaji Bhuiya said Bangladesh has moved away from a subservient foreign policy towards India. He made the comment to journalists after the closing session of a workshop on financial inclusion and rural transformation held at the Lalmai Auditorium of the Kumilla Rural Development Academy today. The advisor said the interim government does not believe in foreign policy that compromise national interest in any way. He also said future relations will continue on the basis of fairness with national interest at the forefront. Three front organizations of BNP, Jatiyotawadi Jubo Dal, Sechchasebok Dal and Chhatro Dal conducted a long march towards Agartala today. They carried out this long march protesting the attack on Bangladesh Assistant High Commission in Agartala, disrespect to the Bangladesh national flag and conspiracy to instigate communal riots. The law enforcement agency's presence was noticeable around the Landport area centering the event. A three-tier security arrangement was taken by deploying village police, local police and BGP personnel at the Akhaura Landport. Meanwhile, leaders and activists from various districts including Brahmanbaria, Kumilla, Feni, Noakhali and Sylhet joined the program wearing the national flag on their heads and carrying banners, national flags and party flags. Before starting the long march, leaders and activists of Jubo Dal, Chhatro Dal and Sechchasebok Dal gathered for a brief rally in front of BNP's central office in Noya Palton. Addressing the rally, BNP's Joint Secretary General Ruhul Kabir Rizvi said Bangladesh didn't achieve its independence to surrender to Delhi. Jubo Dal President Abdul Munaim said BNP and its affiliated organizations will continue to work uncompromisingly over the issues of the country's independence and sovereignty. Chhatro Dal President Rakibul Islam Rakib, General Secretary Nasiruddin Nasir, Sechchasebok Dal President SM Zilani, General Secretary Rajiv Ahsan and Jubo Dal General Secretary Nurul Islam Noyun also addressed the rally. Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami Amir Dr. Shafiq Rahman has said the fascists are trying to destabilize the country when it starts to return to a positive trend. He said the country's people do not care about the red eyes of fascists and conspirators. Dr. Shafiq Rahman made the remarks while speaking at the Central Majlis-e-Shura meeting of Jamaat at its Mogbajar head office in Dhaka today. The Jamaat Amir claimed that the sacrifice of people and students created the new Bangladesh. He also said all should be united to honor the sacrifice of students and people. Convener of Anti-Discrimination Student Movement Hasnat Abdullah said it will be a wrong decision if anyone planned to grab state power by ignoring young generation. He said this at a discussion meeting on role of Dhaka College in July mass uprising held at Dhaka College Auditorium this afternoon. Hasnat Abdullah further said that if any quarter in state structure think that they would be able to build next Bangladesh by subtracting young generation and they themselves will move towards parliament, then they will do mistake. Fact-checking organizations apprehended that the flow of misinformation will increase in the upcoming days. Bangladeshi fact-checking unit Remo Scanner has found that about 72% of social media accounts spreading fake and misinformation against Bangladesh are located in India. Many influential persons are involved with spreading this misinformation. Many mainstream media at home and abroad are also spreading misinformation, which is alarming. X accounts operated from India and several Indian media outlets played a significant role in spreading this propaganda, he said. According to Remo Scanner, 59 misinformation went viral on August. The fact-checking organization identified 120 disinformation till 10th of December. Remo Scanner has also published the names of 49 mainstream media outlets which spread 13 misinformation about Bangladesh from August 12th to December 5, at least 2 BJP politicians have played a role in spreading this flow of disinformation. According to data of the rumor scanner, the misinformation spread about Bangladesh after August has been viewed at least 20 crore times. As a result, a large number of people are constantly receiving wrong information about Bangladesh. Moving on to international news.